But he is one of his most famous military accomplishments. I forget the name of it, but he's besieging the king of Gaul, the Germanic tribe, and basically they had a town, a fortified town, and Caesar. God, why do I keep saying that? Caesar besieged the town. And another army of Gauls tried to relieve the siege, and relieving the siege means you attack the army that's surrounding the town and try and break the siege. Well, what Caesar did, in a brilliant move, is he kind of built a fortification around himself. He built a fortification around the city he was besieging. So the other army... Basically, it's like the army was besieging him and he was besieging the town in the middle. He built wooden walls on both sides of his camp so that they couldn't attack from either direction. And basically, he starved them all out. The army on the other side couldn't stay there forever. The army on the inside couldn't last. And they couldn't get to him. And yeah, that's pretty much what he's most famous for. But basically, like I said, he got the army so loyal to him that when it came time for him to take over, the army listened more to what he wanted than what the Senate told them to do. Come here. And basically he marched the army into Rome and caused civil war, which lasted quite a long time. A lot of people think that the civil war for Rome, going from democracy to empire, was pretty quickly. It took a couple years, at least several years, where it was unsure. Like people think Caesar just marched in there and boom. No, he had to fight a war. Now he won the war. And it was not so much a contest of who was going to win as how long was it going to take Caesar to win. But there was several years there where it was at least in doubt if he was going to succeed or not. But anyway, he finally did win, and he became the emperor. And he was the emperor for a day or two. No, I mean he was an emperor for maybe a couple years, I think, if that. He was assassinated very, very quickly after he succeeded. I think 1 or 2 years after he became the first emperor of Rome, he was assassinated in the famous Shakespeare play Et tu, Brute. Pretty much, I believe, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure we have historical records that show that it did happen pretty much like that. That a whole bunch of Senate members stabbed him all at once, so that not any one person could be blamed for his death, but you would have to blame the entire Senate, and well, obviously you couldn't do that. So, yay! But and then he was succeeded by one of his generals or nephews or both, Octavius something. And I know you're sitting there going, no, that wasn't the second emperor of Rome. The second emperor of Rome was Augustus Caesar. And yes, you're correct. Once he became the emperor of Rome, he changed his name to Augustus Caesar. And he was a great emperor. Stayed around for a really long time. He had a really long reign. I think maybe 30 or 40 years, which back then was an incredible amount of time. The average lifespan wasn't even that long. So, and he did a lot of good work. Basically, he built the empire of Rome. You know what I mean? He facilitated the change from democracy to empire, and he made many great works and a whole bunch of stuff. Augustus Caesar, he was fairly peaceful too. There were a couple wars here and there, but Augustus Caesar's reign is considered like the golden age of Rome. And then, of course, you had a bunch of crazy emperors, and some decent emperors. You had Commodus, who was a decent emperor, but he was always at war, always fighting people. Who was the father in the movie The Gladiator. And of course his son, and actually the interesting thing about the movie Gladiator, his son, hang on, I'm trying to remember their names here. Oh, no, Commodus was the son. Marcus Aurelius was the father. Marcus Aurelius was constantly at war. Good lord, it's like he ended one war, started the next, and he did a lot to expand the empire. His son Commodus was a little bit crazy, kind of like the movie suggests. He did a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Kind of thought he had all the power in the world, and it's never been confirmed, but we have historical documents that claimed he would even take part, like he loved the gladiators and would hold extremely elaborate gladiator tournaments and things like that, kind of like the movie Gladiator. And like I said, there are accounts that claim he even took part in them. Now I would assume that they were highly rigged so that he wasn't in very much danger, but the simple fact that the Emperor of Rome would take place in combat where death is commonplace. It's just, yeah, he was a little bit on the crazy side, I think. But that's back when the gladiators were the heyday. You could earn a lot of prestige and honor by being a gladiator. And the part of the movie that talked about gladiators getting their freedom and stuff, that was true as well. If you were a fantastic gladiator and really good and oh, 895, okay, and please the crowd and this and that, eventually you could win your freedom, or even be given a position of honor, stature. It's crazy how that worked. You had to be really good at slaughtering people, you know. But yeah, you had Nero, which is famous for being absolutely insane and burning Rome down. Good times. And supposedly playing a violin type instrument while it burned. I don't think we've ever confirmed that or anything. It sounds more like a poem. But yeah, there was a huge fire in Rome when Nero was the emperor, and it was suspected that he started it. So it's a really good way to push the issue of remodeling. Oh, I want to remodel a city. Oh, and look, half of it just burned down. How convenient. Ow. And then, of course, you had the rise of Christianity, which, oddly enough, starts right around the crossover between BC and AD. Amazing how that works, huh? You know, in case you're not aware, BC means before Christ, AD means after death. We've commonly started going BCE, before Common Era, and CE, which is Common Era, which is basically a less religious title, but it stands for the exact same years. You know, 416 AD is 416 CE. There's no difference. Pegasus Cup. I'm going to do this one more time, get my level up, and then see how long it would be to get to the next level. And I really want to get to level 50 badly, but I think it's just going to be too much work to try and do it this way. I'll have to unlock the next tournament and do it then. But yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh yes, success. So the rise of Christianity. What can we historically? I'm not, and I never will get into this. I'm not ever going to have a religious debate or a religious conversation one way or the other on my Let's Play channels, forums, anything, because and I had a forum. Some guys in my forums opened up a debate about that kind of thing, and I will never take part in it. I will never I might lock it if it gets crazy, but I'll never take part in it. I'll never go into my opinion on religion, what is religion, how I feel about religion, any of that stuff, because it is such a strong topic. Just so many people on both sides, whether they believe or they don't, or what they believe in, if they're Muslim, Christian, Hindu, atheist, whatever. It's just such a strong topic that I feel if I ever gave my opinion, one way or the other, then it might alienate someone else. You know, like if I say, hey, I'm blah 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 when it comes to this, people who aren't blah 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 when it comes to this might watch my Let's Plays and think, oh, but he's not like that, so I just can't enjoy him the same anymore. Because people, it's such a strong issue to people, so therefore you will never really know, at least I don't think you will, my stance on it that way, because my whole goal with Let's Plays is to give people a good time. To have people be able to watch my videos and laugh and smile and enjoy them, no matter what faith they are, what religion, what ethnicity, anything. And so I want to try and avoid any conversations that might cast a pall on that any way, shape, or form. However, we can historically talk about what we have historical information of. 5,779. That would be about 10 fights to get to the next level, huh? Right? Probably more than that. No, yeah, about 10 fights. Maybe 11. Yeah, that's too much. Definitely to get to level 50, it'd be like 50 fights. I think I'm gonna stop there. Next time, we'll talk about the rise of Christianity from a historical standpoint. Alright? In other words, what can the evidence that we have uncovered historically tell us about the rise of Christianity? Alright? So let me save. That is, of course, assuming there's no grinding requests to cover. Which, considering that I'm planning on having a pretty long session tonight, I would assume I'm going to get to the next grinding session before I get more grinding requests. And I don't have internet, so if I go to another grinding session tonight, I can't go look and see if there are any more grinding requests. In any case, we did level up quite a bit. 4 or 5 levels, I believe. I have a new ability. Or 2. Treasure Magnet, MP Haste. Boost MP recovery rate in battle, allows for more spellcasting. I'll take that, please. Strike Raid. Yeah. Maybe a blow. Berserk. Oh, okay, I see. Blitz. Alright, I don't really use Strike Raid. Don't really use that. I'm gonna remove it. And put back on Treasure Magnet. And that's it. Treasure Magnet. Until I can equip it again. Let's see. You also get Treasure Magnet. And you, what's MP Rage? When you hit in battle. Sure. Take that. Goofy. Charge. Treasure Magnet. Let's do that. Cheer. Nah, I don't need that. Second Wind. Let's remove that. Because I wanna put on all this, like not charge, Treasure Magnet, Lucky Strike. I'm gonna put that. You know what? I'll take off what is costing so much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I see. Let's take off Tornado. MP Gift. Nah. No. do another treasure magnet. You have 2 MP rages. I don't need that at the moment. We'll work with that later.